welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building an autumnal family home. It's a one-story. I know. Okay, so we're building on a 40 by 30. I started out building this on a 30 by 20. We're building in Willow Creek, but I didn't really like, I don't really love the lots that are wide instead of long. They're sometimes a little bit awkward. So I moved it to a 40 by 30. You'll see that in a bit. No idea how this video turned out as long as it is because it's a very small house. Honestly, I have no idea. So bear with me while we solve this mystery together and see what happens throughout the video because something must have taken up my time. Like, I have no idea. But there is room for a total of 4 Sims in the house. And I believe that, no pets in this one. That's the next house. I'm pre-recording at the moment. I might not be able to do a lot because my hands really hurt a lot these days. Or specifically, well, my hands, but also specifically my fingers. I've just been editing too much. So unfortunately, all this clicking is taking its toll and I gotta watch out. Hoping that it'll go away while I'm away because I'm going to Italy. But yeah, that means I do already have the next video ready, the next build. I'll do my best to not mix the two of them together while we go through this build together, but sometimes I do that. If I ever do a house and then don't do the voiceover before I move on to building the next house, in my head I'll sort of mix the two together a little bit. It's a bad habit. Don't know why it happens, but here we are. But yeah, it has room for 2 parents, a kid, and also a toddler. And other than that, it just has the essentials. So the common areas, the dining area is super small. The living room is a little bit bigger. The kitchen is basically an L shape. So the house itself is really, really small. Oh, there's a garage as well, which I actually today turned into a proper garage. So there's a car in there along with some other like storage things and such. It's not functional, although they do have their bikes in there, but it's not functional, any of the stuff, not really. It's just supposed to look like one of the Sims living in the house is in the middle of renovating or repairing, whatever that's called when it's a car. It's supposed to look like they have their own little project going on in the garage. So you'll see that at the end of the video because I'm actually pretty sure that I forgot to record the garage until after landscaping. We'll see though. We'll see. Because I don't remember anymore. But this house is supposed to be, I know that I've done quite a lot of these like autumnal inspired houses lately. This is another one. This is going to be the last one until I'm back from Italy at least. I think I'll probably, no, I won't tell you. That is so annoying, but I won't tell you. Because what if my plans fall through? Yeah, so I'm gonna keep that one to myself. Oh, I just did something with my fingers that really hurt. I need to sit still when I do my voiceovers, especially when I'm in literal pain. That sucks. Okay, but I'm gonna save that one to myself. I'm just gonna keep it to myself for now. I apologize. I should cut this out of the voiceover, but I'm not going to because I'm already doing the voiceover quite late and we're late, basically. But the house is another one of these more autumnal inspired houses. I also wanted the interior to be very autumnal and the classic kind of color scheme for this one as well. So we're using a lot of warmer browns and yellows and oranges. Maybe a little bit of red here and there. I don't remember exactly. I think so. I think there's a little bit of red as well. Basically just inspired by the color of leaves during autumn, during fall, because the trees are beautiful. Everything turns quite colorful for a little while, and then all of a sudden everything's just dead, you know. So let's just stay on the beautiful for a bit, you know, until everything is just dead. I think for me as well, I said this in one of the other videos, but fall has been a little bit weird this year so far. We're like well into October by now. It's the 19th, so we're 2/3 into October by now, and it's still sunny outside. The trees are not, I don't know if the trees are behind or what's going on with that. I think within the next week everything will turn orange-ish, but I feel like it's taken a lot longer this year than it did last year. I could be wrong about that, of course. I'm only talking about Denmark as well, by the way. But I remember last year I had to turn on the heating in my apartment at the end of September because it got too cold. So my apartment relies a lot on the sun shining as well when it comes to like keeping the heat or whatever you want to call it, keeping the apartment warm because I have very big windows. So if the sun is not shining, it's not gonna warm up the apartment as much as it does when the sun is shining. And it's been very sunny lately. Whereas last year, the sun basically said bye at some point in September and didn't say hi again until March. So it's been very sunny this fall so far, but I think my heating bill would probably love it. But I also miss this more like I miss the rain a little bit. It's very selfish of me to say that because I work from home, so like I don't have to go outside in it, but I miss just sitting in here with a book, some candles lit, and then seeing the rain outside, or just hearing the rain against the window. I love that. And we're not really getting a lot of that because it's just really sunny. Can't believe I'm complaining about the sun. What is happening? I feel like I've done that before over the summer though, so maybe there's a pattern. Maybe it's not that weird. So yeah, I am basically getting my autumn vibes from The Sims through The Sims instead of getting them in real life. And now I'm also going to Rome tomorrow. We'll be there Friday, not tomorrow. But I'm leaving here, home, tomorrow. No, we're not flying for 24 hours to get there. We just have to go to Copenhagen first and sleep one night there and then moving on to Rome after. And in Rome, it's supposed to, actually, if you are in Rome, could you let me know? Because I don't trust the weather forecast. So could you just let me know, like, about, like, about how warm it is? If you just want to let a girl know so she knows how to pack, that would be so much appreciated because right now it says that it's 26 degrees and that feels a bit much for October, but like I've never been to Rome before. I've been to Italy so many times because I have family there, which is also why we're going, by the way. But I've never been to Rome, so like I don't really know what the climate is like in Rome. If you know. If you're there right now, let me know how warm it is so I know what to pack. But the forecast on the internet says that it's 26 degrees, and I'm confused because that means I have to bring summer dresses, and it's October. Feels very weird. I'm not used to that, okay? So let a girl know, thank you. That would be much appreciated. So, like, I think that's gonna make the whole, where's Autumn? Where did Autumn go? Situation worse as well. I don't think it's gonna help with my seasonal confusion. But we'll see. Maybe when I come home, it'll be frosty and snowing a week later. A lot can happen very quickly when it comes to the weather here in Denmark. So I am gonna mentally prepare myself and make sure that I don't fly home in a dress. Yes. But anyway, we have a lot to talk about throughout this voiceover. I'm just talking over the landscaping like I usually do because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just doing stuff. So, but today, obviously, a lot of the landscaping, the plants, I think I kept the flowery ones to not a minimum. I added touches of purple here and there just for a little bit of a fun touch, but we're using mainly yellow ones aside from that, and then a couple of white flowers as well. And aside from those plants, the majority of the other ones are actually from the debug catalog or the live edit catalog, whatever you want to call that now. So you can only find it if you enter your cheat codes. And I'm pretty sure I got those listed in the description box, by the way, if you're confused. Or if you don't know them, you can also Google. That's also a thing. Easy way to find cheat codes for The Sims. I had such issues with the floor planning actually that I ended up making the house just a little bit bigger because I couldn't really fit in the kitchen as I wanted it. And also, actually, the biggest issue was that I didn't really know where to place the bathroom. That was a huge thing for a while. So that took me a while, but I figured it out in the end. I also had to make a small hallway leading to the parents' bedroom. I think, I just made the house a little bit, not wider, but longer, if you will. So that I could have room for, now it's done. I know you can't see it because I cut it out, but I basically did it off cam because I just wanted to see if it made it a little bit easier, and then because it did, I kept to it, or I kept the change, so it's not done on cam, but the house is just a little bit too small to be able to fit in a proper bathroom, and I know they only got one, and that sucks because they're four Sims, but the house is pretty small. You're free to place another one somewhere if you want to. You could easily take out the closet there, add another smaller archway, and then place a 2x2 bathroom or something like that if you want to. But I only got the 3x2 because it's a small house. Like, it's truly a small house. I don't know why I'm building this on a 40x30. I don't know, but it does leave a lot of room for landscaping, which is always fun, especially when you're building these autumnal inspired houses. It's nice to have room for like autumnal looking plants, if you will. But are you guys like me when it comes to adding builds to your save file? You want, on the big lots, you want there to be room for like 8 Sims so you can add as many Sims as possible, because I am definitely like that, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I'm sorry I can't contribute to that today by giving you a house that only has room for 4 Sims on a 40x30, but it is what it is. I do like, these days, I've been liking building smaller houses on not necessarily big lots, but like building a tiny house on a 30x20. I just did that, so that'll be up on the channel later this week. And it's just been nice to have a little bit of extra space for landscaping, actually. So I don't know, that's a new habit of mine. And also the one-story houses, which I did tweet about the other day. I hated them. I used to hate them, so I would never build one-story houses, but I have a new obsession, and that is these retro-looking floor plans. I have just come across like a treasure chest or whatever you want to call it on Pinterest. So my whole feed on Pinterest these days is just one-story houses, and they're so charming. Some of them are mid-century modern, so I might do some of those when I come back from Italy. But the one that we're doing later this week is a bungalow, and it is super cute. I am obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with the one-story house plants, although I did also find a couple of that weren't just one stories, so we'll do those too. But I found so many that I love. They're so charming. They look so old. We're of course modernizing them a little bit because I don't want to keep making like vintage or retro houses over and over and over again, although I will definitely be easily convinced convinced to build another one of those retro homes because it was a lot of fun to do something else. It's rare that I do like, I have like a style when I do suburban houses or traditional houses, when I do craftsman houses, when I do modern houses or contemporary houses. I have these like, or cottages as well. I have these like set styles that I usually go for. So it was nice to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and try something new. Don't ask me to do a Victorian house, by the way. But that is not even out of my comfort zone. That's just way out of my love zone. Love zone. Ew, that sounded nasty. It's just way out of my. I don't know. We're not touching that. Okay, haunted house or Victorian houses are haunted. I don't want to build them for Halloween either. We're not doing it. It's not happening. I just know. I know that there are some of you out there that love Victorian houses, and all respect to you. For some reason, they just kind of freak me out a little bit, so I don't touch them, essentially. I'm not superstitious in that way, that's not why. There's something weird about the floor plans as well. Like, the floor plans in Victorian houses are always strange. I know some of you will probably say, well, that adds to their charm as well, but for me, I'm like, it just makes me confused. So I just, no. Anyway, I'll probably cave at some point and do it anyway. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I have no willpower whatsoever. So, you know, I'm easily convinced. Yeah, do your best in the comments. If you really want a Victorian house, do your best. But as for these one-story houses, I'm just having a lot of fun with them. I used to hate doing one-story houses, but these are just fun to do. So we'll do a couple more of those when I come back as well. And then I'll take a break and we'll do something else. But I'm really loving the vintage floor plans. I also want to say that I don't actually follow the floor plans. Floor plans don't translate well into The Sims because proportions are different. But I do take inspiration from the facades of the houses. So it's mainly that. They're all black and white, by the way. Although I have found a couple that were colored. But I think they were colored after, so I don't think they were printed in color, if that makes sense, for these magazines or web pages. No, web pages. Rosa, what do you do? Vintage web pages. Yeah, okay. We're gonna gloss over that. Great. Another blunder during a voiceover, but anyway, yeah. I suppose they're like magazines or papers or whatever, but I think they've been colored after somehow when they've gone onto web pages in newer times, if that makes sense. But a lot of them are black and white, or like beige and black, actually, because they're so old. They're so charming. If you're not on Pinterest, you should definitely go on Pinterest. Just look up retro floor plans and be charmed. But now that we're halfway through the voiceover and I still have not addressed it, there was a stream yesterday and I did a reaction of it, so if you want to check that out, it's on the channel. I put it up yesterday evening, very late, because it took some time. I've never done a video like that before, so I was having a panic moment when I started editing it, because I'm usually in like a routine when it comes to recording and editing, with both channels actually, but suddenly I had to figure out a new way to edit a new kind of video, and I was just panicking a little bit, so it took a while, but it's up on the channel. And there was a stream, and we got some news. I'm still refusing to call it The Sims 5. I know that that's the general thing to call it now, but to me still, maybe it's like I don't know, to protect myself or something from being disappointed in the future, but until we get confirmation that it is actually The Sims 5, I'm just gonna call it Project Rene, or I prefer to call it Project Renesmee, but that's just me. But they did talk about a new Sims game, so I'm not gonna call it The Sims 5, simply because to me, from what I got from Lindsay's words, and also from the look of it and the whole like cross-platform thing, it just feels different than The Sims somehow. We don't have a whole lot of information on it yet either, so maybe it'll clear things up once we get it. But if you want to call it Sims 5, go ahead. I'm just not going to. But it looked interesting. I'm super excited to get more information on it. Although a little bit worried about the whole cross-platform thing, because I don't want quality to be sacrificed for the platform crossing for the cross-platform, because you're apparently able to both play it on mobile phones but also on your PC, and for you to be able to play it on mobile phones, it would have to be lower quality. And as someone who really cares about like the look of the games that I play, like it's very, very important to me. I love textures. Graphics are just important to me. Okay. I'm just a little bit worried that some of it is going to be sacrificed for it to be multi-platform. I don't like playing on my phone. I have chubby fingers. I don't, but I feel like I do. So it's just, I always just play on my PC, or rarely these days, but I also have a Switch, and I just wouldn't really use the cross-platform thing or feature, and I'm sure that it's going to come in handy for some other people that don't have computers or can't afford computers, but I don't know, to me it just feels different than The Sims 5 would feel because of that, But it's very early development, a lot could happen. We also don't really, or at least I don't really know what is possible to do on phones when it comes to games these days. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. What I saw looked super cool though. It looked very customizable, which is very exciting, especially when you build a lot, because we do that here on the channel. But I just wanted to touch on it because it might have been like the elephant in the room if I didn't. There was a huge stream yesterday. Why am I not addressing it today? I don't. Anyway. But there was a reaction up on the channel yesterday if you haven't checked it out and you want to know a little bit more about what I thought. you can go check it out. And also, I've completely missed the fact that they posted pictures of the like hints for the next EPs. So I think this means that we're not getting an EP here at the end of the year, but that we're getting two next year instead. And that's exciting because I've missed double EPs a year. I don't like this whole like one EP in the summer and then nothing for winter. It feels like there's a big gap where we're not getting any content, except from the free updates, but those are usually very small. I like content, new content with a lot of substance to it, with a lot of items, and have been missing the EPs for winter a little bit. So it's gonna be nice to get two next year. That said, I don't know. They might. I don't think they're gonna announce another EP this year, but like, I don't know. We're gonna keep our hopes up, right? Okay. But I completely missed the screenshots on the stream. I don't know how. I just didn't. I think I saw them and then it didn't register or something. I'm not really sure. So now that I've seen them, one of them definitely looks like, or now that I've seen them and registered them and actually thought about them, one of them does look like it's going to be a Generations pack, which is super exciting because you guys know I love my family homes. So we're looking forward to that, possibly in the summer, but we will see. Other than that, don't really know what else I took away from the stream, not gonna lie. Oh yeah, babies, but I don't do gameplay, so it's not really gonna affect me. Although, we will be able to do like nurseries that are actually functional, so that's gonna be really cool. I usually avoid nurseries also because the baby life stage is so short. It's like 3 days or something, so it'll be a little bit more exciting to build for babies and nurseries and stuff once the update is coming out next year. I think it was 2023. So that is cool. Also about time. Really about time. So I know that some of you guys will be super excited about that as well. But those were the things I wanted to say about the stream. And we still got 10 minutes to go. So how much have I done? I think I've kept track of what I've been doing on my screen, but like it's the same with the stream my stream. My feedback, I forgot what it's called. But I kept track, but for some reason it hasn't really registered. I don't know. I can't focus on two things at the same time apparently, which is weird because I used to be able to. I'm gonna blame it on not sleeping enough. So yes. Or is it because I'm turning old? It could also be because I'm turning old. So I'm like tunnel visioning on things now. That's just how my brain works these days apparently. Maybe I'm just turning old. But we have done, I'm pretty sure we've done the parents' bedroom, or did I save that one for last? No, we've done it already. This is the toddler's bedroom, or the tiny human's bedroom, although will we be having to swap that term to describe babies from now on? I don't know. Or maybe I'll call those miniature humans. Would that be mini humans and then tiny humans? Mini is smaller than tiny, right? So mini humans are babies, tiny humans are toddlers. Have I told you guys why I started calling them tiny humans in my voiceovers? Because it's actually because there was a time when I just want to remind you guys that I'm from Denmark, just so you know. But and like usually when people correct me when it comes to language and stuff, it doesn't really help because the voiceover is already done. Usually when I make mistakes, it's because I'm speaking very quickly for the voiceovers, and also I can't think that quickly. I'm doing this in my second language. It might sound like I know what I'm doing, but really it's my second language, okay? So I don't think I do it any better in Danish though. I'm just gonna, full disclaimer, but so usually when I make like stupid mistakes, or if I don't remember what a word is, if I say that I straight on don't know what a word is, it's because I don't know. But usually if I can't remember, I'll just be like, I can't remember. But and then that's fine. If you want to remind me, go ahead, do it, appreciate it. But a lot of the time when I get corrected, I get a little bit like, that was a stupid mistake I did in the voiceover because I just can't think that quickly. And then there's the pronunciation things. And there was a time, like a couple of years ago, whenever I would say toddler, someone would say, you're pronouncing it wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I just have a different accent. So to avoid those comments, I started calling them tiny humans. It's taken from True Blood, where they call them teacup humans. I just call them tiny humans instead. But yes, Arizona from Grey's Anatomy also says it. So that is a thing. Yes. So my computer is making so much noise again. But yeah, that was why I started saying it, so I could avoid avoid having my pronunciation corrected over and over and over, because that starts to annoy me just a little bit. Just gonna straight up be honest with you guys. Starts to annoy me just a little bit. We all have different accents, like everyone on the planet has one, you know? Mine just is a little funny sometimes. And when I say toddler, I do say toddler with a D instead of toddler with a T. That is the thing. But yeah, now I just call them tiny humans. So they have the garage out here, and like I said, it's supposed to be like a hobby garage, kind of. You could always delete the car and put in some other stuff if you'd rather there was something a little bit more functional in here, but I figured it would just be used for like, because I never do this where the garage is just filled with like stuff. I usually will either turn it into like an extra bedroom, or I have also turned them into what I think will be called a man cave, even though I feel like this is a stupid term. I don't, it's just, anyway, let's not get into that discussion. But, or like just entertainment rooms for teens, or if we had band equipment, that's where that would go, most definitely. Or fitness. I sometimes put gym equipment in here. But I never really just do like garages that are supposed to look like proper garages. So for this one, I wanted them to have like an older looking car that it's supposed to look like they're kind of working on it, fixing it. So there's some tires lined next to it and some tools on the wall, and then they have what is supposed to be a freezer out there, but is actually a fridge, because for some reason freezers in garages is just super common in a lot of places. I don't know. Like we used to have a freezer. No, ours was in the basement. But I know that I've seen pictures of garages with freezers in them, so also in movies and such. Like they're always in the garage. I don't know why is that a thing, but it apparently is a thing. So I placed a fridge in there, and they also store they have a vacuum cleaner out there, and also 2 bikes as well. So the bikes will probably be moved outside once your Sims start to use them. However, right now they're in the garage because it just made sense. So it's like a proper garage today for a change. As for the backyard, I just started doing stuff and didn't really know where I was going with it, but I ended up giving them, even though it's an autumnal house, we had a lot of space to play around with, so they ended up with a pool anyways. And it's been a while since I've included one of these like pirate ships in my builds as well, so I decided to, you could also swap it out with one of the other ones if you have the toddler stuff, what's it called? Toddler stuff pack? Is there another name for that one? Anyway, if you have that one, you can swap it out with one of the big things from that pack. But also you can just put a jungle bar there if you want to. Monkey bar? Jungle bar? Yeah, see, I can't remember. I know what it's called, but I can't remember. I actually prefer to make up my own words now and then, so, you know, it's a little bit of fun now and then, you know? But also they have, because they have quite a big back patio, I want to call it, I think I'm gonna stick with that. They also have their grill up there along with a dining table, and then closer to the pool, they also have a couple of benches. So I just wanted to make sure that I had plenty of room to still place in these like autumnal looking plants that I'm sure will not look autumnal all year round, by the way. I'm pretty sure that for summer they look different, but right now they're getting closer to looking dead, you know? If I've sounded weird for the past 5 minutes, I've been suppressing a sneeze. It's super annoying. Anyway, the things you gotta work with when you're doing voiceovers, oh my gosh. Okay, but yeah, just placing a lot of these plants around, so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't like tiling up the entire backyard, which is also why we're using these rock paths instead, and then of course terrain paint. And it ends up looking quite plantsy, but they have like different sections in the backyard as well for these different things to do, for these different activities. They have quite a lot of plant plots because I figured it would just be fun for the Sims in this house to have some gardening to do. Maybe one of the Sims just love gardening, who knows? It's also a thing that I've been really enjoying adding to backyards for some reason. I know that I often add gardening areas, but plant plots I don't usually add. It's more like these pots instead. So I like the idea of adding like a proper gardening area instead of plots, or pots instead, so full on plots. Why are those two words so close together? Like, that is annoying. But they have a little square filled with plant plots over on the left side or the right side, depending on where you're looking at the lot from. I don't know. Could be both. Who knows? And also two beekeeping houses. And I think I ended up placing a water hose over there as well, even though it's not functional. It's just for decor, but it made sense. It looked realistic. So yeah, a little touch of realism, even though my houses most definitely are not realistic. Also, I'm not an architect, so they'll never fully be realistic. But anyway, and yeah, I don't know about the rest of the video, to be honest. I feel like now I'm getting curious. What's the last minute? What are we doing for the whole last minute? Adding trees? We might be adding trees. I love autumnal trees, so I was very careful with choosing the right ones and the right size. And they are very red and very yellow. Although on the left side of the house, because we're building in Willow Creek, there's a line of pink trees that are completely throwing me off. Like, why do they have to look pink all year round? Why do they not lose the leaves or something? Are they not supposed to be cherry blossoms? I'm not really sure. What are those trees, if you know? If you're like a tree enthusiast, or if you just know. Because you don't have to be an expert to know, but if you do know, what are those trees that are pink on the left side of the house, or on the right side right now? Because I don't know. And I feel like for fall they shouldn't be pink, but like maybe that's just the kind of tree they are. So let a girl know. Yes, thank you. But we are getting closer to the end of the video, so I'm going to be wrapping up this voiceover now. If you guys like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, trade files can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below. And if you like books, you love reading, check out my booktube channel, which is also linked to in the pinned comment. But which you can also find the trailings. I think I forgot to say that. Completely thrown out of my rhythm here. Okay. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
You forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Do you know how much I love you? Wanna see you smile. Where's that happy girl that I know with a heart on fire? I'll do anything to make it fine, but I can tell that you have something on your mind right now. But I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your problems will fade. If you're ready for a good time, count on me. There's a party in the backyard, dance your problems away. I'm all about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. We are all about the good vibes. We are all about the good times. Dancing till it feels alright, all night. We're all about the good vibes, all about the good vibes. I will make you forget all your sorrows. Let go like there's no tomorrow. Let's have a drink, just relax. All your